Good day, everyone. So for today's video, we are going to discuss something about the general equation of the circle. In transforming the standard form of the equation of the circle into its general form, then what the only thing there is for us to expand the standard form of the equation of the circle. So let's say, for example, we have down here x plus 2 square, or the square of x plus 2 plus the square of y minus 5 equals 24. By simply looking at our standard form of the equation of the circle, we can determine the radius and its center. So given the standard form of the equation of the circle, x minus h square plus y minus k square equals r square. So ang ating pong magiging center based on our given is, so the center of the circle is at negative 2, positive 5. And our radius, kung mapapansin nyo, the radius, it says there that r square equals 24, but then we are to extract the root of both sides, meaning the length of the radius would be square root of 24, or if we're going to simplify this is 2 square root of 6. So, ganun lang po kasimple, i-determine si radius at saka si center ng circle given the standard form of the equation. Now, we're going to transform the standard form into its general form by expanding the equation. So, we have down here x squared. That's x plus 2 square plus y minus 5 square equals 24. Again, we're just going to expand this part of the standard form of the equation. So making this, you can actually use the FOIL method if you want, or if you want the long method. So we have down here, so if we're going to expand this one, this would become x squared plus 4x plus 4, and then the other one would be y squared minus 10y plus 25. Okay, so a shortcut is that you first square the first term, and then you multiply the first and the second term, then multiply by 2, and then you square the last term. Okay, and then we have there equals 24. And then we have to omit the parentheses first. That's x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals 24. And then we're going to arrange it the way na decreasing po yung ating exponent. Okay, so we'll be having, of course, mauna natin si x squared term, and then followed by the y squared term. So we have down here plus y squared, and then followed by the x term, that is positive 4x. Again, that's positive 4x. And then followed by the negative 10y term, or the y term, that's negative 10y. And then we have down there our constants, that is positive 4, positive 25 equals 24. So si 24 po, since nasa kabilang side po siya ng equation, then we are going to transpose it to the other side, making this x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 10y plus 29. So I have just simplified this one, then minus 24. And by simplifying this one, the general form of the equation of the circle now would be x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 10y plus 5 equals 0. So this would be the general form of the equation of the circle, in the sense that your x squared term and y squared term should have the same numerical coefficient. Okay? In general, this would be the general form of the equation of the circle. So we have down here ax squared plus ay squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0, or x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. And if you have noticed, kailangan po si x squared term at si y squared term ay pareho ng numerical coefficient. Okay? So let us now deal with problems involving general equation of the circle. So the problem here is to identify the center and the length of the radius of the circle with the given equation x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 10y plus 30 equals 0. So in this case, given na po yung general form ng equation ng circle. So what we're going to do now is for us to reverse the process. So let us first write the general form of the equation of the circle. That is x squared. That is x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 10y plus 30 equals 0. Okay, so our step 1 in reversing the process is for us to group the x and the y terms, and we put the constant to the other side of the equation. So pagsasamahin natin lahat ng may x at pagsasamahin natin lahat ng may y, at yung ating constant would be transposed to the other side of the equation. So making this, we have x squared plus 6x. So, pinagtapi na po natin siya, plus y squared minus 10y equals negative 30. So, that would be our step 1. So, step 2 is for us to group them. So, we have down here x squared plus 6x, then plus y squared minus 10y equals negative 30. Okay? So, in transforming this, or in transforming the general equation of the circle into its standard form, what we're going to do is for us to what? To make these groups the square of a binomial. And for us to do that, what we're going to do is to apply the completing its square. So that would be our step 3. And in completing the square, if you still remember, in completing the square, what we're going to do is to divide the middle term by 2, and then you have to square it. So that's how we complete the square. Okay? So in this sense, we'll be having x squared plus 6x plus a certain value plus y squared minus 10y plus a certain value equals negative 30. Okay? So now, ano po yung ating i-add? Ano po yung ating i-add dun sa ating mga groups? So that would be what? That would be 6x, or that would be 6 divided by 2. That is 3. And then we are going to square it. So the answer would be positive 9. So we're going to add here 9. And a rule in mathematics that if you add something on the left side, then you must add something, or you must also add a certain value to the right side. So we have here plus 9. Okay? Next is that we have negative 10 divided by 2, and then we're going to square it. So we have negative 5. And the square of negative 5 is positive 25. So we're going to add positive 25. And so with the other side of the equation. Okay? And simplifying this, since we already have completed the square, then we can transform this into the square of a binomial. So we have here, so if we're going to have this one, so that would be the square of x plus 3 plus the square of y. So that dapat po it's negative. So that would be y minus 5 square equals, and if we're going to simplify this would be negative 30 plus 9, that's negative 21, plus 25, that would be positive 4. So we have now just transformed the general equation of the circle into its standard form. But then, the question here is for us to identify the center and the length of the radius. So for us to do that, the center of the circle or can be identified using these values. We all know that the standard form of the equation of the circle is x minus h square plus y minus k square equals r square. So for us to get the center, ito yung ating value. So that would be, so the center would be at negative 3, comma, that would be positive 5. So here is the center of our circle. And next is for us to get the radius of the circle. So if you have noticed, r square is equal to 4. So for us to get the radius of the circle, we're going to extract it. So we have r square equals 4, and then extracting the roots of both sides, then the value of r would be 2. Hence, the radius of the circle is 2. Let us now have our next example. So we have now to identify the center of the circle and the length of the radius of the circle, given the equation 3x squared plus 3y squared plus 18x plus 24y minus 225 equals 0. So let us have 3x squared plus 3y squared plus 18x plus 24y minus 225 equals 0. So that would be, our first step is for us to regroup or group the x and the y terms. So that will make it 3x squared plus 18x and then plus 3y squared plus 24y, and then we have to transpose the constant to the other side of the equation, making it 225. Okay? And next, if you have noticed, there is now a numerical coefficient na nakadikit kay x squared term at kay y squared term. So what we're going to do is to factor it out at ilagay natin sa labas ng parenthesis. So that will make it 3 multiplied by x squared plus, so kapag tinanggal or kapag pinactor out natin si 3 dito kay 18x, so that becomes 6x plus 3 times y square, that would be y square. And then if we're going to factor out 3 here, okay, 24y, so that becomes 8y, positive 8y equals 225. Okay? So it is a must that we first factor out if there is a numerical coefficient na nakadikit kay x squared at y squared term before we complete their square. So we have down here 3 times x squared plus 6x plus a certain number plus 3 times y squared plus 8y plus a certain number equals 225. And in this sense, we are now ready to complete the square. So we have 6 or positive 6 divided by 2, that is positive 3. Positive 3 square, that would be positive 9. So yun po yung i-add natin dito. But ano po yung i-add natin dito kay kabilang side ng equation? Si 9 po ba? Alright, remember that nilabas mo si 3 dito. And bago ka mag-add dito kay kabilang side ng equation, you are first to multiply 3 kung ano man yung in-add mo dito. So that would be 3 times 9, that is 27. So you are to add 27 here. And same thing goes with the other group, that is positive 8 divided by 2, that's positive 4. Then square it, that would be positive 16. And if we are going to add the certain value on the other side of the equation, we are to multiply 3 with that of 16. And that is that would be positive 48. Okay? Alright. And then we are now ready to make it a square of a binomial. So we have down here 3 times. So this becomes x plus 3 square plus 3 times. So this becomes y plus 4 square equals. So if we're going to simplify this one, this is 225 plus 2 plus 27. That's 252. And then plus 48. That would be 300. Okay. Next, if you have noticed, medyo kamukha niya na yung standard form of the equation of the circle. But then, meron pa tayo dito 3. Alright? So, para mawala po yung 3, what we're going to do is to divide both sides of the equation by 3. So, making this, we have to divide this by 3. And so with this one, and so with the other side of the equation. So, making this, or by simplifying that, we have x plus 3 square plus y plus 4 square equals 100. Okay? And now we have just arrived with the standard form of the equation of the circle. And now we are now ready to identify the center and the length of its radius. Okay? Given the standard form of the equation of the circle, we have x minus h square plus y minus k square equals r square. Then we can determine the center. Since dito ay positive siya, so meaning the center would be at negative, yes, it's negative 3. And since dito positive then, so that is negative. So that would be negative 4. So the center of the circle would be at negative 3 comma negative 4. And then, the radius of the circle can be determined. Sabi dito, r square equals 100. So we have down there, r square equals 100. And then we have to extract the root of both sides, making the value of r be equal to positive 10. Since we are dealing with measurement here, we're going to deal with the positive root. Hence, the radius of the circle is 10 units. And that's how we use the general form of the equation of the circle.